but Bobby and I will fight together to defeat the corrupt political establishment and return control of this country to the people. And all who supported Bobby's campaign, I very simply ask you join us in building this coalition. It's a beautiful coalition in defense of liberty and safety, prosperity and peace. It's going to be an incredible coalition, and the relationship has been so good for so long. I have no doubt it's going to work and work well. But we have to win. We have to take our country away from these people that are going to destroy our country. We won't have a country left. So thank you very much. We need your vote.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. J.R. Dukes at your service. Appreciate you joining me as always. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Otherwise, I want to extend a warm welcome to all my free-minded friends. Appreciate you being here. Folks, tonight we have some historic and fantastic news to talk about. You have probably heard already that RFK Jr., who of course is the nephew of former President John F. Kennedy, and his father was Robert F. Kennedy, and of course both of them were assassinated by an assassin's bullet back in the 1960s. The great and historic news is what you've been seeing all over your television and of course in the intro to this particular video, and that is RFK Jr. has fully endorsed former President Donald Trump as the next president of the United States. I think what happened is RFK, he simply realized that in all likelihood, because of the lawfare and the fraud and the power hungriness of the Democratic Party, at best he might end up being a spoiler in this election. And he was very concerned about turning this election over to someone like Kamala Harris, because he ended up splitting the vote between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, and it ended up causing Donald Trump to lose the election. And he knows we cannot afford that. What a true patriot to say to himself, hey, listen, I cannot allow this to happen. I got to do what's in the interest of the country. And God bless him for doing that. Of course, the Kennedy name is synonymous with effectively royalty here in the United States. Remember Camelot, pertaining to his aunt and uncle back in the 1960s? And no matter what the legacy media tells you, this is a huge deal. This is a very, very big deal. As Donald Trump would say, it's huge, and it is huge. That's just not hyperbole. It is the case. There is no greater name, in my opinion, than the Kennedy name in the Democratic Party. This endorsement has definitely sent shockwaves all across the political landscape, and make no mistake about it, any type of momentum or any type of upswing that Kamala Harris was on as a result of her speech in front of the DNC the other night, this particular action alone by RFK Jr. has definitely undone and stopped any momentum that she may have had. Robert Kennedy, along with Donald Trump, stood in front of an audience of over 35,000 patriots. There were so many people at this rally, they could not even allow other individuals to come in. They had to cut them off and say, enough, we are over, or at least at capacity, no one else can come in. Both men stood shoulder to shoulder, and of course, Donald Trump is a showman. He knows how to put on a good show, and that's the reason why you've seen all those fireworks, these pyrotechnics going off. What a great image. What a great video. Take a look at this video clip. This was one well-planned event.
Tonight, I'm very pleased to welcome a man who has been an incredible champion for so many of these values that we all share, and we've shared them for a long time. I don't think too many of you people have heard of him. He's very low-key. He's a very low-key person, but he's highly respected. He is a great person. I've known him for so long. For the past 16 months, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Okay, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I had to go ahead and silence this because of copyright issues. There's music in the background. You're going to see RFK Jr. coming out right there. Have a lot of nice fireworks in the background, shaking hand. Fantastic. What a great visual display. Perfect for all the photos everybody's going to be taking. We'll just let it play through, and you just kind of get a sense of just what a stunning visual performance this was, and what a fantastic endorsement this is for former President Donald Trump. It simply cannot be overstated. Let's go ahead and let's listen in.
And he deserves it. He deserves it.
Great job from Donald Trump and his team right here.
For the past 16 months, Bobby has run an extraordinary campaign for President of the United States. I know, because he also went after me a couple of times. I didn't like it. And I mean this sincerely. Had he been allowed to enter the Democrat primary, he would have easily beaten Joe Biden, but they wouldn't let him in. They put up rules. I've never seen rules like he had to have 65% of the vote in order to run, little things like that. His candidacy has inspired millions and millions of Americans, raised critical issues that have been too long ignored in this country, and brought together people from across the political spectrum in a positive campaign grounded in the American values of his father, Robert Kennedy, a great man, and his uncle, President John F. Kennedy.
Perfect.
And I know that they are looking down right now, and they are very, very proud of Bobby. I'm proud of Bobby, you want to know the truth. And I don't think I've ever introduced anyone that got applause like that.
And remember, this is going to be a big deal, I predict. It may be 1, 2, 3%, but with these tight margins they've been having the last couple of elections, this could definitely be a huge coup for President Trump.
Soon after I can't even believe I have to say this, nearly assassinated in Pennsylvania last month, Bobby called me to express his best wishes. He knows firsthand the risks incurred by leaders who stand up to the corrupt political establishment. When you stand up.
Can you all imagine that as we let this play out? He was denied Secret Service protection by President Joe Biden. And of course, we all know that Trump's security at a minimum was lacking. In other videos, I've talked about the culpability of the U.S. government arising at least to the level of what I would call negligent attempted assassination. That's just a phrase that I'm using because I think it was so obvious. They did everything they could not to protect this president, in my opinion. And of course, they did not protect RFK Jr. here, who lost his uncle and his own father by an assassin's bullet. Just absolutely unbelievable.
I'm announcing tonight that upon my election, I will establish a new independent presidential commission on assassination attempts.
Good idea.
And they will be tasked with releasing all of the remaining documents pertaining to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy.
Great idea.
And they will also conduct a rigorous review of the attack last month. But I tell you, I have never had more people ask me, please, sir, release the documents on the Kennedy assassination.
Just as a quick note, it's hard to believe, but even all the way back in the 1960s, when you're talking about John F. Kennedy's assassination, there are still many documents the U.S. government has as classified. It kind of makes anybody think, hey, what is it they're trying to hide? Why are they not releasing all the documents that they have in their possession? And if you notice this attempted assassination, thank God he's okay, on President Trump right here, it's nothing short of a miracle that he lived. And on top of everything else, to add insult to injury, they're, in my opinion, slow walking this investigation. It's been well over a month now. The mainstream media is all but not talking about this story whatsoever. And of course, hopefully President Trump gets returned to office and he will get to the bottom of exactly what is going on, specifically with his attempted assassination.
And we're going to do that. And I also want to salute Bobby's decades of work as an advocate for the health of our families and our children. Nobody's done more. Millions and millions of Americans who want clean air, clean water, and a healthy nation have concerns about toxins in our environment and pesticides in our food. That's why today I'm repeating my pledge to establish a panel of top experts working with Bobby to investigate what is causing the decades-long increase in chronic health problems and childhood diseases.
He might be a little out there when it comes to some of these vaccinations and whatever, but it does not hurt to at least investigate, check into these claims, and try to get some type of resolution. I think just because someone's got a out there type of idea does not mean we need to dismiss it. Why not investigate it? Why not check into it? But on the mainstream issues that you're going to hear here in a little bit, this particular individual, Robert F. Kennedy, he definitely has some great points on lawfare, great points on the fact that he has effectively been not permitted to run in the Democratic Party.
He is a brilliant, I still think of him as young. He's not that young. I always call him young, but he's not that young. But he is a phenomenal person, a phenomenal man who loves the people of this country as much as anybody can love the people of this country. So, Bobby, please say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Trump.
He rightly makes points in this speech and in the speech prior to actually giving this endorsement. He very articulately points out and puts out there for all of us to see the fact that him and Donald Trump both have been hammered in a very similar way with this lawfare. Obviously, Donald Trump was removed off 2 different states as far as the ballot is concerned until the Supreme Court stepped in. And the same thing's happened with RFK Jr. He's had to go to court in every state he's on the ballot because the Democrats have done everything in their power to stop him.
And these institutions, these regulatory agencies are actually run by the big food processing companies, the big ag and the chemical companies that they're supposed to regulate. And he said to me that he'd been advising me for many years on my campaign. And he told me that night that he was also advising President Trump. And he asked if I would talk to President Trump. And I said, of course. And about a few minutes later, I got a call from the president. And we talked. We had a very good talk. And then he invited me to come see him the next day. And I went to Minneapolis and saw him.
RFK Jr. spoke eloquently about the dangers of lawfare and how it's dangerous for our society and literally can undermine our great society that we have been blessed with. Robert Kennedy pointed out the tactics of his own Democratic Party and how they have shamelessly used the same tactics against former President Donald Trump and himself. What's truly mind-boggling is the irony here. The Kennedy name, once a pillar of the Democratic Party, is now aligning itself with the Republican to save America from the very party it once championed. RFK Jr. understands the stakes just like Donald Trump. Our nation's future is on the line, and he's made the selfless decision to step aside and help Donald Trump. By doing this, he's ensuring that Donald Trump has the best chance to become the next president of the United States. RFK Jr. and Donald Trump want to put the United States back to its former glory, to put our country back on the path that is going to bless each and every one of us and honor our God. If this doesn't make you realize just how important, just how critical the times are right now that we're living, I'm not sure what will, my friends. Everyone buckle up because 2024 is yielding new surprises every single day. I appreciate each and every one of you joining me today. If you have a comment, please make a comment. Tell me, put in the comments below. Agree, disagree, anything you want to talk about, put in the comments below. If you subscribe to the channel, I personally will make sure that I answer and respond to your comment. Friends, we all have to get ready to have some potentially uncomfortable conversations with our neighbors, friends, families. If you have an indoctrinated family member, friend, whatever, please share a copy of this video with them. It helps the algorithm. It hopefully will help your friend, family member, whomever, and hopefully it helps our great country of the United States of America. May God bless each and every one of us, and may God bless the United States of America. My friends, always like to say, keep that mind free, never give up. Until next time, I am J.R. Dukes.